Now. Welcome one and all, folks and fellas. Tonight we have the third tourney of the Super Smash Bros. Crusade CMC plus CPU tournament series, Who Reigns Richest. Our roster theme for this one is small and proud. Whether it be short in stature, small in fame, or little in both, these up-and-going challengers are ready to be a big shot for either their second or first time in tonight's tourney. To introduce... Uh-oh. Hold on. Ignore that one. Ignore that one. To introduce... Oh, why is it bugging out? There we go. To introduce tonight's money-making mashers, we have Koopa, Pyramid, Clover, Tingle, ooh, that one's looking a little bit, Ice Climbers, Mordecai and Rigby, Osaka and Chio, Chibi Robo, Isabel, Blossom, Shinx, Servbot, Sir Kibble, Moomin Rider, E102 Gamma, and Yuto Ichika. These matches will be one round, single elimination. Whichever competitor has the most coins by the end of 3 minutes will move on to the next round. No items, random stages, final smash on. So, without further ado, with our fighters at the ready and the conditions set, it's time to see who reigns richest. We go over to our main screen here as it all buffers, loads in. As it all loads in. As our, there we go. All right. So our first match here is Koopa versus Pyramid. Let's see, the audio is, it could be a little bit higher. I can raise this a little bit. I think I lowered this the last time I was here. Yeah, there we go. And Pyramid is right down here. So, no need to say it a second time. We're going straight into the match.
3, 2, 1.
We have here two very low tier characters. They are the definition of fodder. Koopa Troopa from the Mario series, regularly stomped on and just turned into an item. They are the main force of Bowser's army. But main force is simply a force in numbers. And then on the opposing side we have Pyramid, who is just significantly less lore going on. They are just this dark matter void energy in a kind of sandbag body, and just happen to be the main enemy because they needed something to kick and punch in that game in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. There is truly nothing extraordinary about either of these characters. There have been a few, I was going to say a few from each who have risen above and beyond, but that's Rob. I would be thinking of Rob in this case. And we don't have Rob in this match. We could have put Rob in here. Honestly, maybe Rob could have been a contender in this one, but that just means they have a chance to shine among some real big shots in a future tournament. as for the actual gameplay going on, they are dealing some decent blows. Primid has a phenomenal recovery that doubles as stalling and evasion. Koopa has been throwing out some pretty decent kicks and punches here. It seems like all of Primid's moves are very slow to start, which does not match up well against our humble and fierce Koopa, throwing out dive kicks, shell toss, and just kicks in general. God damn, that was a strong one. That being said, wait. Sorry, I was going to say Koopa hasn't gotten a kill yet, but there it is. There's our first kill. Primid could possibly get a kill in this first match, which could even it out. Once they typically hit the 100 coin point, there's going to be a decent amount of gold that's dropped. That is going to be Primid's win condition in these last 33 seconds. Primid is going to need to play close and fast near these side blast zones because they are very close. We saw Primid only died at around 200% off of the top blast zone from Koopa, who I wouldn't imagine Koopa's a very strong opponent, right? Like, they're not throwing out the most devastating blows. They can trick you up a little bit, and it seems like trick you up just enough to get the win. Koopa is moving on to the next match. The next round, I should specify. So, following that act, we have some characters with some actual names. We've got Clover and Tingle. Now, it could be argued whether these are, you know, relatively low-tier characters, but let's not forget, Clover struggled and died in base Undertale dozens of times. Flowey tried to get them to go through Undertale, but every single time, Clover just died. Tingle did get his own game. I think if you told the general populace that Tingle got his own game, they would first ask, who the fuck is Tingle? And then you asked gamers that if they knew about Tingle getting his own game, they would be shocked and they would be stunned and they would ask you, what the fuck do you mean there's a Tingle game? Like something fan made? Something the people just made up on their own? No, it's an official game. I think it's for the Game Boy. Was it a series? Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land or something. I don't even remember it. Though Tingle is proving to be well-versed in gathering money as they have a decent lead so far. There hasn't been any gold tossed out, just bronze and a few silvers every now and then. Clover is not doing too hot. I guess they would have been better off against a monster, right? Something that Clover would feel a little bit less bad about shooting. You could maybe say Tingle isn't human, you know? I mean, he says he's a fairy, and then second of all, he's a Hylian. You know, maybe that's not exactly like a human. Am I making some dangerous comparisons here? Absolutely. I'm gonna look back at the match, where Tingle is in a strong lead both ways, but it feels like Tingle has just been Clover, with an interesting play to KO themselves off the side. That wall is a little bit helpful to keep coins in play. I am interested for Clover here. I am a little bit rooting for Clover, but I can easily see Tingle stealing this show. Because if Tingle dies in the next 37 seconds, then that is a lot of gold that's going to be dropped. Max coin count dropped. And Clover isn't exactly all that far behind. Clover just needs to find that one opening, that one blow. Meanwhile, Tingle, just stay alive. Just live. That's all the little guy seems to be able to be best at. And that's not a kill. And that's game over for Clover. No final smashes. Oh no, Clover, Clover, dear. With that, Tingle moves on to the next round. Up next, we have a bit of a doubles match going on. We have the Ice Climbers versus Mordecai and Rigby. Now, climbing a mountain, definitely perilous, but it seems like almost every other day with Mordecai and Rigby working in the park, it is some world-threatening calamity going on that they happen to have the, not Deus Ex Machina, but whatever the thrown-together plot device is to get them through the day. The question here is if they can pull out that plot device here and win this tournament. Let alone, win this match? We are 30 seconds in. Ice Climbers are at 15%, and Mordecai and Rigby are at 124%. What? These climbers are tired. They were so good with their, what is it? Chain grabbing, infinite combo, desyncing, and melee. In Brawl, it was nerfed to hell and back, and in Ultimate, they have only a passing semblance of it. But it seems like here in CMC Plus, in Super Smash Bros. Crusade, they seem to have some of the magic back. Could it be that it's because they are both CPUs now? That they are both technically always operating separately? Or is it just the fact that Mordecai and Rigby suck? Truly, it could be either option here. We're really only seeing true moves and combos from the climbers, who are putting in a lot more effort than the park workers, Mordecai and Rigby. 242%, just barely living on. I think we were almost about to see a Death Kwon Do punch there, but it's interrupted. They've got too much startup. They're looking for a kill that isn't there. They've got 1 minute left. And a final smash. Do they whiff it? They do. They whiff the final smash. This is not Mordecai and Rigby's tournament to win, I feel. Right now we've got Nana and Popo tethered. It doesn't seem to be doing much besides adding a distraction to look at on stage. There goes Nana, almost. Okay, Nana was tethered back in. It seems to be simply a pull to the other rather than any kind of obstruction. There goes Nana. Can Mordecai and Rigby take down Popo in the last 5 seconds? Get enough gold? Nope. This was simply not their episode. This is not something that's being aired on TV. Ice Climbers win. And we'll be moving on to the next round. So, now we have Osaka and Chio versus Chibi Robo. Osaka and Chio, I might hear what you're saying. What do you mean Osaka and Chio? From... Oh goodness, am I blanking on the series? Yeah, I am blanking on the series. I may have forgotten the name of the series that they are from. It seems like we've got, unlike the duos that we have just witnessed, it is mainly Osaka here. And I believe it's going to be Chio brought out for a few of the attacks. Right now, some... Chibi Robo was on a crazy combo, and Osaka retaliated right back. You know, that also counts as a combo, I guess. The announcer is in improvement. Very nice. This is... Oh no. Chibi Robo, what are you doing? It's fine. It's still in the first minute, you know? There weren't really that many coins in play. Chibi Robo's just stalling it out. This also counts, you know? It's racking up percent. The later that Osaka and Chio get KO'd, then the less of a comeback they can make, as well as the fact of, I guess, the more coins they'll have to drop. It is interesting to note that they are almost exclusively dropping bronze from each other. All of their... Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo, what is this play? Okay, if Chibi Robo gets the kill off of this, then that's good. However, this is a little bit cheap. This is a little bit cheap. Chibi Robo, you are no longer 12 inches tall. You are the size of the other competitors. I think you can play fair here. I think you... This is gonna go on. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gonna go on for the rest of the match. This is gonna go on for the rest of the match because this move has no knockback. And they're just gonna keep in this loop. And Chibi Robo's throwing the match. And Chibi Robo's throwing the match. You know, if this is the way Chibi Robo wants to play, then I'm fine. I'm fine with this. We unfortunately... Please. Chibi Robo isn't even mashing the special button. They are... It's... Really? Osaka and Chio move on. Alright. Up next, guaranteed to be more of a thrilling battle, we have Blossom versus Isabelle. Two characters that some may refer to as girly pop. Not that I know that what that word means. Now, Isabelle, I believe her moveset is relatively the same as Super Smash Bros. Her second game. Meanwhile, Blossom, the Powerpuff Girl, is bound to have a lot of moves. We've already seen the Frost Breath. We were about to see a ribbon boomerang happen. We're yet to see any real flight or super strength. Right now, Isabelle, with her past fighting experience, is somehow getting a significantly better lead in this. Blossom is able to land some good moves here, but just throwing the punches is not going to be enough. She's going to need to take that coinage as well. And with this kind of stage, with the characters being tossed, well, rather than being tossed up, it's more so either sent to the side or up top. The coins are going to be getting stuck on that platform, so anyone who's staying on the normal stage ground is going to be at a disadvantage. While I wasn't looking though, 222%. However, a little bit unoptimal to kill at that time, I would say, because Isabelle is only 10 coins short. And that can change in a moment. Or at least, that's what I want to say. But haven't these characters been dropping a decent amount of coins? Oh, that is a giant laser. Beware Blossom's giant laser. Honestly, I forgot she had that move. I forgot she could do that. A good 1, 2, 3 with the umbrella. That fishing rod doing immense work for her. And as we're getting into the last 45 seconds, the game is to a degree tied. Blossom is soon to perish. You speak it into existence sometimes. And with how low the coin gang has been for this game, I think this might be Isabelle's match to win. I think Isabelle's got it in the bag because I think whenever she pulls out that recovery move, she's immune to knockback. All of the moves that could be sending her away just doing nothing. Is she gonna build a house for us? We get the house. Just to stall out the match. Just for the heck of it.
This game's winner is Isabelle.
As the announcer said, Isabelle moves on to the next match. And to follow us up with that one, we have Shinx, the Pokemon, normal Shinx, not partner Shinx, not movie Shinx, not anime Shinx. Go into Route 3, Route 122, Route whatever, wherever you want to go. We just picked it off up the street. But it's completely normal and fine because canonically, Pokemon love to fight. Is this my Shinx? No, no, no. I didn't do the work here. Shinx is here to battle. This is Shinx's first time in this sort of battle format, you know. Usually they like take turns, they decide who goes first with like speed. But Shinx got a little bit excited there. They just immediately ran off the stage. It was a percentage reset, you know. Actually, I'm not gonna give them that credit. Shinx is figuring this out. Meanwhile, Servbot, they've been in fighting games before. Servbot's done a fair amount of weird things. What is this move? Is this Aura? Is this an Aura boost from Shinx? I didn't know Shinx could have that. With Pikachu recovery. Hold on. Servbot, well, in all regards, Servbot is kind of winning. But, okay, there goes the... Walkling? Shinx? Shinx, buddy? Okay. They eventually had to leave. And there goes Servbot. Ooh, those are some dangerous pits with this stage because... Oh, there's a shield break, but the world's worst punishment. But as I was saying, with this stage, all of those coins, if they die off the bottom, that's a long way down, and there's not going to be anything they can do to recover those coins. It seems like this aura boost with Shinx lowers speed, but also drastically reduces knockback, which is kind of incredible for a game like this, where getting knocked back loses you chances from getting gold coins, you know? But this is a rather interesting game because Servbot is able to deal the damage, but Shinx Aura is, dare I say, single-handedly saving their game here. Oh, and it's down. Shinx is at 214%. Almost anything could kill them at this point, including that giant mech that, oh, and it's back. Shinx aura is back, baby! Serval, pull out the mech. Super Shinx? Super aura? Is this Shinx going even further beyond? In the last 17 seconds, a 20 coin difference. How is Serval going to recover in this one? Wait, no, they're sending them. Shinx can't land. Shinx can't get the tokens. They just keep getting sent around and around. And it was down to final smash. Incredible. Servbot moves on to the next round. I think we have a strong competitor there to even battle Shinx. So our page is taking its sweet time loading. So we'll simply go on to the next round of Sir Kibble versus Moomin Rider. Alright, we've got a humble soldier of King DDD versus the humble and the noble hero of whatever fucked up city he decides to bike into. I imagine Moomin Rider's a bit more of a traveling hero, considering the moniker. But you never know. Maybe he does have a place to stay. But it will be interesting to see if Moomin Rider in a new format, possibly a more balanced format, will be able to finally get a singular win, or if this knight at not even half of his size will take him down and keep the win rate at a steady 0. I'm not even sure who just had the final smash. I'm going to assume it was Moomin Rider. I think his final smash was just pulling out the bicycle. Extremely in character, I would say. I was so convinced right there. I will be honest with you folks. When he was screaming and then running off the stage, I thought it was in a fit of depression and something else was about to happen. Something that I'm thankful didn't and shouldn't happen to any of you. You should always reach out for help if things are looking particularly bad. Even if you think you'll get shunned, shamed, there's always another way. It won't always be easy at first, but it's always possible. Just like with Moomin Rider. He was down in the lowest he could be. He's still hanging on at 200%. He's gotta keep those coins. He's gotta keep those coins. Oh, the bicycle is out. It deleted the flying projectile that was likely concerning Moomin Rider for a while. And there he goes. Oh, we got 56 seconds left. It is possible for Moomin Rider to bring this back. It's just a matter of how. Wait. The Justice Punch! Incredible! What's even more incredible was how much of a throw that was, tossing Sir Kibble onto the platform where all of the stars landed, where all of the coins landed, and it didn't even kill. It didn't even kill. In proper Moomin Rider fashion, it didn't do anything. This poor man. We have generic mob Kirby enemy number 5. Guaranteeing moving on to the next round. Speaking of, the server finally fixed itself. Servbot is moving on. And so is Sir Kibble.
This game's winner is Sir Kibble.
And with that, we come down to the final match of round 1. E102 Gamma versus Yuto Ichika. These two, they have their own cult followings. Yuto Ichika, a humble beginning from a patchouli recolor into fully fledged original character with her own lore, her own game appearances, playability, and several platform fighter appearances. E102 Gamma, one of the most famous side stories in Sonic gaming history. An estrangement from normal gameplay mechanics, turning it into a speed platformer shooter with a story that almost feels unfitting for Sonic, but at the same time is simply carrying on the themes of freedom from a different perspective. Now, despite me talking big about both of these characters, are they really that popular? No. You ask a Sonic fan what their favorite character is, it's probably Shadow first. Then there's gonna be some Knuckles, some Amy, some Sonic. They'll say some third-rate characters like, I don't know, Rouge, Vector. They'll be naming off almost all of the other comic mainstays, whether or not they're really caring about the comics. Gamma is very low. Yuto Ichika, you ask 80 people out of 100. You ask 99 people out of 100 who Yuto Ichika is. Nobody is knowing. They could both deserve some more fame, but Sega is never bringing back Gamma because of how impossible that's going to be. And with Yuto Ichika, they're trying. The Lame Dimension devs, that is their official name, they're still working hard. They're all over the minor fighting game communities. But looking at this match here, 2 minutes in, it seems like Gamma no longer has the lead. Yuto grabs the gold coin, but with enough bronze being dropped around, that's not going to be strong enough of a lead. This is suddenly a very close game. Possibly it was a close game the entire time. I admittedly wasn't looking all that closely, because both of these competitors have some strong and interesting moves, mostly Yuto. A lot of moves that just stop and hit hard, but then Gamma is still sweeping it all in. Down to the last 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
114 coins to 106. Gamma moves on to the next round. So if you've seen the past tournaments, you likely know that there's usually a commercial break around now. But I don't have one of those. I don't have one of those at the ready. So instead... Wait, I remember. It was... I remember what I was gonna pull up here. But I didn't queue it up early. Hold. Alright. We will be back shortly. Okay, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect to be dinging. I didn't expect it to be dinging. All right, the break is over. Well, almost over. Let me adjust a couple more things. Hold on. Okay, break for real over now. So, grab your popcorn back up. We're back in. Okay. Move here. Our next match for round 2 will be Koopa. No. Koopa versus Tingle. Now, with these competitors, they did hold steady leads against the other. So this is a more fitting round for them to match off against. Now, Tingle himself in the first round didn't necessarily do a lot. Clover, in fact, might have been throwing a little bit, as Koopa is just now. That move may be worrying. If Koopa keeps pulling out moves like the one earlier, then it's not good. He needs to pull out more of those special moves. That spin attack was incredible. There's some good dive kicks to be had, some good headbutts, all of the sort. There's good moves you have, Koopa. Meanwhile, Tingle, he just needs to live and gather. Well, also some of these down airs, that devastating juggle of a combo. You know, I never really considered it, but maybe using your damageless up special in neutral game right underneath your opponent, that might be the play, Tingle. Keep at it. We'll see how that goes for you. They both grab an item. Tingle grabs the rupee, Koopa grabs the Koopa shell. The rupee comes out first. Uh-oh. It's the Koopa shell toss. And it doesn't pay off. It's not a constant damager. Ooh, oh, is Koopa tired? What the hell happened to him? Why is he flashing red? Or is this his aura, as we saw with Shinx? Alright, it's not looking too good for Koopa. But it's not impossible. Koopa has been dealing most of the damage this game. And with that kill from Tingle, I don't think we're going to be seeing any more kills from here on out. It is just who's going to get more coins. From the looks of it, Koopa is in a solid lead, almost double. But it's still only double digits. I'm watching Tingle play for this long. I'm not quite sure what other moves he can pull out that'll be able to get him this win. Because sure, he can cause some silver to drop, but it's just in the same direction that Koopa's going. None of it's really staying. Those bombs would be useful as an edgeguard tool, but Tingle doesn't have that strategy in him. He's not that kind of con man. If only a little sooner, Tingle. If only a little sooner. Koopa moves on to the semi-finals. All right. After that, we've got another match of doubles. We have Osaka and Chio versus Ice Climbers. Now, without getting lamed out, without getting stalled and then thrown against, how will Osaka and Chio compare against the strong double power of the Ice Climbers? Already we are seeing some massive coin drops. And already we see this strange entanglement going on between the Ice Climbers. Osaka isn't able to do much to counter this. Against one opponent, sure. But it seems like 2 is the limit here. And she's not thinking that... What? Sorry, hold on. Sorry. I was trying to compliment the Ice Climbers. And I'm like, oh man, they're really on the roll. And then Popo, from start to finish, holding left, off the left side of the stage. But... Come on, fellas. Fellas, can we get it together? We're on the Megalovania stage. Can we see something decent? Can we see something that isn't an SD? I mean, Ice Climbers are putting in some good damage. They are at 204 points. I just realized what's a good part of it, actually. There's 2 of them, right? Of course, obviously, it's Ice Climbers. 2 of them means they are both picking up coins. They both extend as each other's range. Alright, are we getting the Chio rocket? No, it's the shock explosion. And we are down to solo Popo. Osaka, this is your chance. This is your one time to shine. There's only one set of attacks to dodge. Just keep Popo alive and get those coins. She is at 202 to 362. This is possibly the highest coin count, the highest coin match we've seen in this tournament yet. And Osaka just can't get out of the Ice Climber combos. If she can't figure out something in the next 35 seconds, it's all over. If she can just get a kill at this point, there it is. 200, 300. The coin counts are high. And now if Ice Climbers can't work the magic they've been working this entire time, Osaka and Chio are gonna take the win. It's close. Keep your eyes peeled. 360, 357, 364, 363, 72. And that's the game. It was a close one. It was a close one for the Ice Climbers. Death means so much more to them, considering how much more they have to come back from. But with that, Ice Climbers move on to the semi-finals. Next up, we have Servbot versus Isabelle. 2 tiny yellow colored assistants. 1 winner.
3, 2.
Taking the match to Fountain of Dreams. A very close stage with a lot of platforms that will be holding those coins. Oh, but the platforms do move. They do move and they do go down. This is down to the capability of the competitors as much as it is the RNG of the stage. With that center platform, it will stay up. But on the sides, it's all a matter of who takes the most advantage of it. That Both opponents, honestly, a wide variety of gimmicks. No true moves to call their own. No true punch, kick, slam, all just slingshots, pom-poms, plates of food, gyroids, fishing rods, throwing, what is that? What is he throwing? What is he throwing? A little disc, a little frisbee? We just keep seeing plates of food. A little dining table. The self-damage of flaming food. All sorts of toys and trinkets. But which one will be the master? Servbot down to 19 coins halfway into the match, while Isabel is at a decently strong 70. She's almost guaranteed to get KO'd before the match ends. She has not shown that much stability, and Servbot has shown the killing potential. That being said, both opponents are pretty far away from their final smashes. I don't believe we'll be seeing either of them during this fight, which means if Servbot can't stay on the stage and finally get a KO on Isabel, that's lights out. But as we saw last time, Servbot was down and almost out of the match until one final clutch. One final surprise against an opponent who honestly could have won the whole tournament. We saw that Shinx aura, but Servbot still got past it. So how will they get past this town assistant? Incredible punish. I couldn't have done better myself, Servbot. And the game is suddenly close. This game is suddenly tied in the last 12 seconds? Does Servbot actually pull it back? The comeback king. By one coin. By one singular coin. Isabel moves on to the semi-finals. Servbot was a very good competitor, but it simply was not meant to be. And with that, our quarterfinal final match. Sir Kibble versus E102 Gamma. Two armored warriors. First fighting for their master, and now for money. Also, side note, how common is this stage? Hello, this is the second time. This is the second time we've seen this stage, and the third time we've seen this stage in the entire series. It's the third tournament. I didn't tinker anything. We didn't tinker anything, right? No? Yeah, no. Nothing's been tinkered with. Regardless, Gamma has shown a good arsenal of strong moves. Meanwhile, Sir Kibble, simply good arsenal. Simply strong moves. Already they're in the coin lead and the percent lead. Gamma does have the tricks to pull out some kills. Oh, but hold on. We cannot die off the bottom. There's no KOs off the bottom on this stage, folks. Only through the side. Will this count as stalling? Who knows? It couldn't be as bad as Chibi Robo stalling. I will be honest with you. That was pretty egregious. But with Sir Kibble's awful recovery, this is both good and bad. Honestly, Gamma could have killed them multiple times over if not for the lava. But now, Sir Kibble is just going to keep all of this money until that inevitable KO. And that's just going to mean all the more coins being dropped. And that just means all the more of a lead Gamma can take. But it doesn't seem like Gamma's even going to need that much of a lead, considering the damage output now, considering how close the coins are. Gamma taking his time, surveying the stage, looking for the best options of attack. Sir Kibble simply trying to get in there and attack. The mine! This singular mine! Oh, there's a gold coin. This match can turn with whoever gets that singular gold coin. Nobody takes it. Good for Gamma, not good for Sir Kibble. It is a nearly 50 coin difference in the last 30 seconds of the match. Gamma is going to fall before the end of this match. That is a guarantee. In fact, I would say it's a guarantee. Commentators curse be damned. It's 252. Holding on for dear life. This is the deciding factor here. If Sir Kibble can get the KO in the last 10 seconds. Gamma just needs to run. Gamma just needs to run. The up B in neutral can work. But instead, Gamma, unfearing, charges forward and still secures the victory. Gamma will be moving on to the semi-finals. And with our semi-finals and our very, very functional and normal and working tournament screen, we started off with Koopa, the underling of underlings, versus Ice Climbers. Long time detested Super Smash Bros. Characters, but possibly winners in yet another tournament series. Koopa is at a bonus here. This stage does not have pits on the side, meaning the earlier self-destructs just cannot happen. However, will that be for their benefit or their downfall? Koopa has been strong with hand-to-hand combat, but that's just been against one opponent at a time. That's been in the standard matches. The Ice Climbers hammer and hammer, laying down beating after beating, even when down to just solo Popo, still pulling out wins. It honestly is it feels like a karate movie in here, I will be honest. With the moves Koopa is pulling out, yet the Ice Climbers still hanging in there. No pun intended. This may be one of the closest matches we'll have. What I would be interested to see is if Koopa is able to KO Nana before Popo, leaving solo Popo to have to scrounge out more damage. In which all of Koopa's moves, both offensively and defensively, have been incredible so far in this tournament. I'm not sure if the Ice Climbers have seen anything like this before. Right now, despite all of my hype up towards Koopa, the Ice Climbers are in a significant coin lead. The two bodies versus one is simply undeniably powerful. In this game format, where they can cover twice the amount of stage as anyone else, even our bigger opponents, or rather competitors in the past, have had their size differences. Optimus Prime was probably one of the largest competitors we'll ever have. But even then, this much of a lead through losing and coin game is incredible. They're going to need that kill off of the side. Koopa's going to need to make some big plays soon, as we're in the last 20 seconds of the tournament. They just can't seem to get that kill. And that's all they need. That's all they need in these final moments. And what it comes down to is Ice Climbers moving on to the finals. Koopa put in a good run, but he'll simply have to... Whoops. Where is this now? But they'll simply have to compete for third place. And joining both of these competitors for either first or third place is Isabelle and Gamma. Both very peculiar fighters. Isabelle having, as stated, many trinkets at her disposal and getting a lot of good damage off. Meanwhile, Gamma has had some strong tools in his arsenal. I can't imagine a single move that he has that's truly wasteful. And right now with this stage, it's interesting because half of it is just open stage with a few platforms. I believe the tree is a platform. Meanwhile, the other side is almost completely boxed in. Depending on where they try and send each other flying, all those coins are just going to bounce back, as well as each other. Incredible spike. I'm not sure how competitively useful it was, considering how low the coins are, but it was a good hit regardless. If Gamma is confident that he can pull it off later on, good for them. Good for Gamma. However, that is downplaying the fact that Isabelle has made it this far. She is no one to slouch at. All of Gamma's moves are relatively slow to set up. They're all reactable in one way or another. Isabelle, all quick, all big. Well, some are quick. The pom-poms. Some are big. The fishing rod, which has gotten her so much leverage against other opponents. Right now we are halfway through the match. Gamma, unsurprisingly, more percentage considering the earlier kill, but also a significant coin lead. I would say that's about 75, a little under, but Isabelle needs to throw to the left. She needs to fish Gamma out to the other direction, unless she stays there. But no one's going to get any kills in this right side of the... Did I speak too soon? Nope. Gamma's alive. Gamma's recovery is strong. He is a robot built by Eggman. Meanwhile, Isabelle, honestly, her recovery is incredible too. They need to get knocked out in order to get KO'd. And with both of them at over 100%, both final smashes... Wait, the self-destruct? Isabelle couldn't activate her final smash because Gamma activated his. Who's taking up most of the gold? All of that gold, all on the stage, and nobody's picking it up. Crazy. The match is coming to its close in the last 12 seconds. Isabelle at 152, Gamma at a strong 199. Is this it? Does Gamma take home the win? If Isabelle had just made a few plays ever so slightly differently, I could have seen her taking the final slot, but it seems like Gamma was just enough. Moving on to the finals is Gamma. However, we first have our third place match Had to remember the word there. We have Koopa versus Isabelle. Isabelle, get back in that ring. All right, third place match for only some of the marbles. Koopa versus Isabelle. Now, I've been hyping up Isabelle all this time, but Koopa is showing why he got this far. If not for the devastating combo of the Ice Climbers, Koopa could have taken the whole tournament. Let's be honest. Koopa's been a strong, fast, competent fighter this entire time. And even if he wasn't truly able to get as many coins as other competitors could, it doesn't matter. He just gets the kill. Isabelle was simply a tricky opponent for some, too tricky for the rest of them, until Gamma. In another world, this could have been the finals match. I could see Isabelle fishing rod taking out one of the Ice Climbers, either Popo or Nganga, and having a significantly easier time. It was targeted, it was from a distance, she could have done it. Koopa versus Gamma? Gamma wouldn't have had a chance. Gamma would have strong moves, but what's it in the face of strong and fast moves? Both of these competitors showing that they could have done it. High percentages on both, high coin count on both. Koopa right now with a slight lead, but that means little. Going into the last minute, you can expect a KO from both sides. Are we seeing the first one from Koopa? Some offstage play? Almost. A rebound. Koopa's first KO taken. But it's up to Koopa if he can take one from Isabelle. And who am I kidding? Of course he was. Like I said before, it was guaranteed. We just need Koopa to get those coins on the right side, yeah? Yeah, buddy? No? He's all fists. He doesn't want to wait. And he's throwing a little bit for it. Koopa... Oh no, buddy. That might have been his undoing. If Koopa had just grabbed those coins on the side. If Koopa had just grabbed those coins on the side, he would have gotten third. But instead... third place goes to Isabelle. And now, the final match. The most unsuspenseful music possible. We have Ice Climbers versus Gamma. The heel of the Smash Bros. Melee community, some could say. And everybody's favorite niche Sonic character, E102 Gamma. This is the final tournament. Now, with the Ice Climbers, their double body count doubles the amount of coins they can get. However, on such a neutral stage like Final Destination, will they be able to pull it off? Or will they just KO themselves? Whether it's a fluke or a play from Gamma, or this is all perfectly calculated from Gamma, as now Nana has perished so low into Popo's stock. Unless Gamma is foolish and KOs Popo early, this could be the winning ticket. By some miraculous plays, Gamma has an incredible leverage this match. He just needs to get those moves out. And there goes Popo. Popo's coin count is low, but Gamma hasn't gotten that much himself either. And there goes Nana. Popo doesn't know what he's doing. He's throwing under pressure. He's crumbling. Gamma at 160. It's honestly not looking good for the robot here, as solo Ice Climber is still putting in all the more damage, getting all the more coins. I'm just shocked at how they're able to do it. Was it truly just the natural strength of the Ice Climbers that have gotten them this far, rather than the double coin game? Or was it a fluke? Right now we are at dangerous percentages for Gamma. Gamma is going to fall to this eventually. I was wrong about it before, but Ice Climbers are no slouch. They're not even letting Gamma back onto the stage. And if Gamma can't get on the stage to keep any coins, then what's the point? Maybe a KO can do something for Gamma here. But it's going to be all the more embarrassing if they lose to solo Popo. But in a sense, could this not be the truest underdog that there could possibly be? Tied coin count? Sudden death! Anything can happen. One move for one move, and game. The winners of the third tournament of Who Reigns Richest. Small and proud stand the Ice Climbers. I could not have expected a tiebreaker, a sudden death. The worst part of all, for the people cheering for Gamma at least, is that they had a killing move ready, but Nana took all of it. Popo was still there, and Popo knew what he needed to do. Alright. With that all settled, we have our winners. Ice Climbers in first, Gamma at a respectable second, and Isabel at a surprising third place. The next tournament will, of course, be next week, same time, same place. For the few people watching on YouTube, there's a playlist. There's a playlist for all this. If you want to go back and see any of these matches, they're all right there on YouTube at That One Slime's VODs. With all that said, I'll catch you all next time. Oh, wait, hold on. I can raid someone. I can raid someone. Hold on. I can raid someone. Yeah, I know who I'm gonna raid.